Hey everybody, what's going on? How's everybody doing? I wasn't sure if anybody would show up today because I didn't actually post an announcement for the show, and I know that it's been back and forth, a couple of weekends on and a couple of weekends off, and my schedule's been a little bit crazy. But I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys remembered. I mentioned at the last live event, I think I mentioned that from now on, Sundays are free again. So the show is going to happen every Sunday at the same time, 10 a.m. So if you guys are, happy to have a show every Sunday and you're not going to get sick of my ugly mug, then you can definitely tune in moving forward. So I hope you guys appreciate that. How's everybody doing this Sunday? I hope everybody's doing good. Do you hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay, guys. Just want to make sure the sound is good. Yeah, I was watching Shane just this morning as well. I woke up and I saw he had his live broadcast going on, so I tuned in for a while. Shane's a cool guy. And yeah, definitely, he's got some good stuff on his channel. So if you guys haven't, or if you guys don't know about Shane's channel, check him out, In the Blues. How's everybody doing today? Happy Sunday. Let's start off the day by saying good morning to everybody that's already here. So we have Jack Collins. Good morning, Jack. Good morning, Alan. Good morning, Cushman. Bruce Brooks is here also. Good morning. Cushman and Bruce have been, I think we're waiting for the show to start, which is nice to see. Gospel of Mark. Hey, how's it going? Mark's at work, so I hope he doesn't get fired. I know Mark's been busy buying some great gear. I've been checking that out on his Instagram. I'm a little jealous, Mark, I gotta say, but yeah. Congratulations on all that great gear that you're picking up. I know you guys, you're going to be busy with all that great stuff. Joey's here as well. Good morning, Joey. Wayne is here. Good morning, Wayne. Jonathan. Hey, Jonathan, how are you, my friend? Long time no see. We're going to have to get together soon sometime. Who else is here? Cushman, Alan... Fat Philosopher's here. Good morning, Fat Philosopher. I think Fat Philosopher scored a really nice guitar that maybe he wants to tell us about later on. Donai is also here as well. James is here from Connecticut. Darwin. Good morning, Darwin. Jeff. Good morning, Jeff. I guess Shane and I have to work out the schedule. It's all good. It's all good. Who else? Hey, thanks for that, Paul. Thanks for letting the guys know. I appreciate that. I don't wanna take away from Shane's show. If you guys want to watch Shane, that's fine by me. Christopher Thomas is here. Good morning, Christopher. You guys, so there's a lot of you that are already telling me that you got some cool gear, so let's start with that, because that's the most important thing, is let's talk about gear, right? So Fat Philosopher, I'm starting from the bottom, the most recent comments, and I'll work my way up. So Fat Philosopher says, I got an RG this week, an Ibanez RG, I believe it was white or off-white, I couldn't really tell from the photo that well. Sometimes white doesn't render that well, and it could be like a sparkle or something like that. RG Ibanez guitars are great. I had a couple of them in the past as well, and I always thought they're very nicely made guitars and great value for the money. So I hope you didn't get into another argument with the wife over that guitar, Fat Philosopher. You gotta be careful, eh? You gotta know when enough is enough. You know, if it's getting to the red line, you got to be careful and just wait a little bit before you bring another guitar in, or at least hide it well in the shed or something before it shows up. But congratulations on that. Christopher Thomas says the one I bought had neck binding. Yeah, I think some of them do come with neck binding as well. Um, I don't remember if mine had neck binding. I think it may have. It's been a while. The one I bought was actually a crazy color. It was a fluorescent yellow. It was like almost not. I'm not gonna say highlighter yellow, but not far from it. You know. Um, so Christopher says I bought the PRS 245. I really like it. Thinking of changing the pickups. I have a JB and a distortion and a custom. So, Christopher, that is the 245. Is that the SE like this one, or is it the US made version? Just so you guys know, I messed up on my video. For some reason, when I made the video, the review on this guitar, for some reason I kept referring to the American made version that I had as the CE 245, which in actual fact the CE 245 or the CE model have bolt neck guitars on them, and the actual model of the American one that I have is the SC 245, not the CE 245. So between the CE, the SC, and the SE, I was getting them confused. So I think I had a brain fart that day. So I apologize for that. But for those of you who have who know the model and the lineups, you know what's going on, and I think you caught that one. So I hope there wasn't too much confusion. So Christopher says it's the SE, so it's like this model here, and you're thinking about changing the pickups as well. I think you will do yourself a favor by putting in some good pickups. As you can see, I already changed out the pickups. In this one, it usually comes with the zebra striped humbuckers, and I find that the original pickups are not bad, but they tend to be a little bit like hotter. For some reason, they seem to be a little bit more like nasally sounding, hotter pickups, and they don't open up nicely. I like pickups that are a little bit more like vintagey sounding. I don't mind if they're hot, but I like them when they're a little vintagey sounding. So hopefully that pickup swap will be better for you. I know that it is for me. I just want to try and do something here. I don't know if let's see here. No, that's fine. I was just looking at the settings. These pickups are a set of Peg City 59s. They're made in Canada from Peg City Pickups. You can check them out if you're looking at getting some good quality pickups at Canadian prices, especially for those of you that are from the United States. You can get a great deal on the pickups because they're not that expensive with the exchange and all that. And I went with the nickel covers on these because I love nickel covers. They're just so sexy in my opinion. They sound very good. So I'm going to be shooting a video where I'm going to be showing you the differences between these pickups and the original ones that came with the guitar, for those of you that are interested in seeing what the difference is. If you guys didn't, so Jason, I just mentioned their Peg City Pickups 59s. They're basically, I wouldn't say low output, but they're like classic output pickups based on the PAF style humbuckers. Not modern, more I guess subdued. From what I can tell you, just verbally like this, it's always better to listen to it. But the bridge pickup has a very nice sound to it. It's clear. These are not wax potted pickups. And for those that don't know, I don't really like. Well, I like wax potted pickups because they stop the squeal. But I prefer pickups that are not wax potted because they just sound more open overall. And that's really what I'm after with the vintage sounds that I like. So the bridge pickup sounds very nice, very articulate. The neck pickup has a lot of bottom end to it. It's a very full sounding pickup. So for those of you that don't like a let's say a full sounding neck pickup, it might not be for you. If you're looking for a neck pickup that cuts through a little bit more, this one is definitely fuller sounding. So you'll have to back it off a little bit to get it in the range. But again, great sounding pickup, and you guys will be able to hear it for yourself. I'll be shooting a video on that shortly. Jason says, just put a Sir Thornbucker in a HSS 53 millimeter. Amazing. Yeah, I've had my eye on the Thornbuckers as well. They're a little expensive, right? So that's why I didn't go and pull the trigger on those. I know a lot of people tend to think that they sound good. I've seen a video review of the Thornbuckers compared to a couple of other pickups, and after hearing them side by side, you really can hear the nuances between. But for sure, the pickups being put out by Sir are really, really great pickups. You can't really go wrong on those pickups as well. If you have the scratch, you can definitely try it out. Hey Jason, how are you? Pricey, yeah, for sure. Pricey, for sure. So let me go back to a couple of other questions or a couple of other people that have picked up a few things. Hey Christian, how are you? Christian's saying, in the last few weeks I made a gear diet. I only played one guitar, my new HSS Strat, one overdrive pedal, and one amp. I learned a lot about how to use my gear. That's a great point, Christian. It is a great point. Often, if you really want to focus in on your playing, the best way to do that is to eliminate gear. I know it sounds crazy, it's sacrilege. We shouldn't be saying those words here on Addicted to Gear, but it is the truth. If you kind of hone in on one guitar, one amp, and maybe one pedal, you're going to really concentrate on getting the most out of your fingers. And it's not a bad thing to do that every once in a while. It's definitely almost like training for an athlete, concentrate on the playing. And it's also great overall because you're basically not getting distracted with all the gear, so you're actually doing some playing as opposed to tinkering, right? Gospel of Mark says he's got to go, he's got to work, and he'll catch the replay later. No problem, Mark. That's fine with me. Work comes first, I guess. Excuse me. I've got to clear my throat. Sorry, guys. The allergies are starting. I don't know if any of you are suffering from allergies these days, but they're starting up. I hate allergies because not only do you not sleep well at night, you wake up sort of with, a heavy head, just like your nose is all weird. And then if you're trying to shoot videos like I am, you're sneezing in between, you're trying not to sniffle. It's really a pain, but it's part of summer. What can we do, right? Fat Philosopher says the wife was mad for 2 days, seems fine now. She hasn't seen my sawtooth yet. I would say take it easy with the sawtooth for now. Hide it under the bed for at least a couple of weeks till things sort of get back to normal. Otherwise, you're going to be sleeping in the doghouse, Fat Philosopher. Oh my! So I'm glad I'm not the only one with these issues. Oh, I'm wearing my I'm wearing my Addicted to Gear T-shirt today. So if you guys, that reminds me, if you guys want to support the channel, obviously you can grab swag in the links below my videos. A shirt like this is in there as well, and there's a few other goodies, so that's always appreciated, and it helps the channel, of course. So today is show number 61, and since you guys are very you know, on the ball. You're always here. You're supporting the channel, and I really do appreciate that. I'm gonna give you some sneak news that is not privy to everyone except you guys that are here today. There's gonna be a giveaway on the channel probably this week if I can manage to get the video out. I'm gonna be giving away a cool piece of gear. This this is a NUX MP2 Mighty plug that I actually like a lot. This is, for you guys that are not familiar with it, Mighty Plug 2. You basically plug this into your guitar. You can set up a bunch of sounds on this, and you can actually stream to your earbuds or, you know, earphones or whatever, and actually practice silently wherever you go. It's a great thing. You can actually plug it in, charge it up, put it in your guitar, and you're rocking. And the thing is, it does sound good. I tried it and I like it a lot. It's very, very handy, very convenient. So I want to give back to the channel. I'm going to be doing a little draw for this. So stay tuned for that on my channel. It'll be announced probably this week. And you get an opportunity to win something, some gear for free. Why not, right? So cheers to that. I'm alternating between coffee and water, for those of you that are wondering. Good morning, Dan of New Jersey. Frank Rack. Good morning, Frank. Frank had a question. Good morning, Tony. Here is a blast from the past. Neighbor brought me a Johnson MJ150. Did you ever try this? Yes, I did. 2x12. It was the future of modeling from the 80s. Where is the pizza? Well, actually, I had pizza yesterday, but not from my pizza oven yet. Don't worry, guys. When I get the pizza oven rolling, I'm gonna show you pictures from it for sure. Actually, I didn't put it out yet. I stained my deck. I have to do another coat on the deck, and I didn't have an opportunity to put it there yet. I figured I'd stain the deck and get it ready so I don't have to move things out afterwards, and then I could set everything up. But I'm aiming for next weekend. Maybe next weekend, maybe next Sunday show, I'll have some pictures of the pizza. We'll see. Yeah, Fat Philosopher, it's a great piece of gear, that little plug. It's really a lot of fun. Hey, Kim. Nice to see you. Welcome. Seth says, just finished a hardtail Strat build. Translucent white with DiMarzio Billy Corgan pickups, hip shot open gear tuners, and a hardtail bridge. Jumbo frets, block inlays, painted headstock. Wow. Sounds like you threw in like everything into that guitar. Beautiful, beautiful. Sorry, guys. Allergies. The hip shot open gear tuners are really nice. I'm wondering if over time, however, if they tend to get like mucked up because of the, you know, dust and stuff in the gears. But probably not. I guess if you keep them clean and you don't necessarily oil them down, then they should be fine. Jumbo frets are really nice. Block inlays. I'd love to see what that looks like, Seth. You should actually send me some pictures if you can. Very nice. Very nice. Congratulations on that guitar. Isn't it so satisfying, Seth, when you build your own stuff? I mean, I'm going to give you guys an update on my builds too while we're talking about that. The purple Telecaster is actually coming along very nicely. I spent quite a few hours yesterday manually trying to level and buff the guitar. And it's not 100% where I want it to be yet, but it's coming along. I'll show it to you guys. I can't wait to get that guitar finished. It's been a long time coming. I have the neck sprayed. I just need to give it a light buff. So the neck is pretty much ready. The body is, I'm going to say, 80% there. And I have all the parts I need to build the Telecaster. And soon, guys, I'll be playing that purple Telecaster. So I'm pretty excited by that. I was considering recording the steps involved for you guys, But honestly, the truth is, when you're working with paint and stuff like that, the last thing you want to have is a camera around when you're spraying paint and stuff like that. It's always messy. So I didn't do that. And you know, the buffing and polishing is just very boring. There's not much to it. It's just a lot of elbow grease. So I didn't necessarily want to show you that. But maybe I'll show you guys the build, the actual assembly. If you guys are interested, I can always shoot that because I'll be working off my bench. The cool thing about the build, the Telecaster build, is it's actually almost like the United Nations of Benetton, because there's a lot of companies that have sent products that I bought products from to get this project off the ground. So just so you guys know, the body from that one, which is 100-year-old pine, I decided to go with pine on that because I wanted something that was a little bit softer and would age quicker. 100-year-old pine, that came from Great Lakes Custom Color, which also supplied the finishes, the clear coat, the primer, the sealer, all that stuff. They actually also sent me some paint for that build, but it wasn't the purple I was after, so I didn't use that, but I used the guitar and all of the other primary ingredients to get the finish on the guitar. And then I bought the purple from Oxford Supply, which is oxfordsupply.ca, and the purple sparkle they nailed for me. They actually made a custom color for me, which you can buy, by the way, if you're interested in building your own purple Telecaster. It's called, I believe it's called Royal Purple Metallic. So I feel so happy that they named it Royal. I don't think they named it after me, guys, but they nailed the color on that one. And that's the color that I used on the build. And here, I'll show you. Let me put this guitar down. We'll talk about this a little bit later. Give me a sec. It's right over here. I put it aside so I'd be able to talk about it with you and show you where I'm at. Because I know some of you guys have been asking me, how's it coming along? How's it coming along? So the buffing is, I would say, 80% there. It's still a little rough, you can see. But it's I didn't actually do the final buffing on it. But it's getting there. It's coming along really nicely. It's going to be a great guitar. I'm not going to go too crazy with the buffing on this guitar because I want it to be kind of a vintagey, relic-y kind of flair. So I'm going to leave some of the imperfections. Still a little, got some dust and stuff on it. But it's coming along. And that's basically the body. So what I want to do, so I have basically all of the ingredients. Basically, believe it or not, guys, I have 2 bags like this, and these are all the parts that I need for the build. So in here, I have the pots, I have the bridge, I have the potential pick guards that I'm going to use for this. Here's one of the pick guards. It's a Solo Pro pick guard, bridge, vintage style, which will look something like this. Oh man, there's too many bags, and I'm trying not to ding my body right away before I even start playing it. So here's the bridge. It's got brass saddles on it, as you can see. So, you know, just to give you an idea, it's gonna fit right there, more or less. Doing this by eye here. So that's gonna be the bridge. And what else? The thing I wasn't sure about, and I asked you guys your opinion. I wanted to know what you guys thought, if I should go with a dark pickguard or a light pickguard. A lot of you said go with the dark pickguard. Here's the neck plate. This is a Fender, genuine Fender neck plate, which costs a lot of money for nothing. But what can you do? What else do I got here? I got, these are the ferrules that go in the back. We need those. We got the orange drop capacitors. We need those. We have the locking strap locks. Here's the one of the pick guards. So here's the thing. Do we go with a kind of vintagey white pick guard? It's not actually white, it's ivory. You guys probably can't tell off the screen, but it's ivory pick guard. Or do we go with the darker black pick guard like this? I don't know. Or black. Keep in mind, guys, that it's going to be, the neck is maple. It's not rosewood, right? So what do you guys think? Let's do a quick vote on that. I know a lot of you guys like the dark pick guard. I kind of tend to go. I kind of tend to like the white myself, but a lot of you are saying go dark. And there's also this here. Now, I'm not going to really use this. I'm probably just going to use the switch. Might not even use the switch. I had this lying around. This is an older switch, but it's in mint condition. Got a really good quality switch, good quality pots, orange drop. I mean, for all intents and purposes, this will either go in this guitar or in the butterscotch body that I'm also working on, right? I don't know if you guys forgot about that one, but that's another project that I have going. So I think what I wanted to do in this guitar, I can't put it in because they wrapped it around. They wrapped it around the pot, and I don't want to mess it up. But anyways, it goes in there. What I wanted to do with this guitar is I wanted to use something different for the, where is it now? Is it in the other guitar? Other bag. Where did I put it? Anyways, there's the, is it in here? Ah, here it is. Yeah. So I got one of these. These are really great, by the way, guys. If you guys are looking at getting something like this. This comes from a True Custom Shop, and it's a little cover plate, but the cut for the switch is at an angle. That makes all the difference. So when you put it on your guitar like this, when you put it on your guitar, the switch is out of the way. Can you see that? So it's easier to get to. And little things, but make a big difference. So that's the one I'm going to be using. And yeah, that's pretty much. What else do I have here? And of course, all of the, I got some more pots and stuff in here, and I got the output jack thingy. So that's pretty much it for the build. I can't wait to get this thing done. Can't wait. Quicksilver saying, doing some vacuuming while he's listening. Cool. So you make that, you're making the wife happy at the same time as you're getting your guitar fix. I don't want to flip a coin, Paul, for the bridge, for the pick guard. I'm aiming towards the mint, the ivory. But if you guys think black is gonna look better, so let's do this, everybody at once here. Pick a color. I don't know if, can I do a vote? I don't know if I can do a vote on this thing. But pick a color, guys. Let's do this right now. Off-white or black. It's not parchment, it's off-white. It's ivory. It's called ivory. So 3, 2, 1, vote white or black. Let's see if you guys are going with the dark side or if you're going with the white and the good side. I'll tally up all of the votes later on. I didn't show you the tuners, but those are locking tuners also from Solo. I wanted to go with locking tuners because I like the mass on the headstock. I feel the mass makes a big difference. What color are the pickups? The pickups are typical. They're typical Telecaster pickups. Actually, the pickups are coming from Peg City also. TC204 Telecaster pickups is what I'm using in there, which is this. So I'll show you what they look like. So the neck pickup is, of course, raw nickel. It's got to be raw nickel. The bridge pickup looks like this. Great looking pickups, by the way. You can see the base plate on that. So these pickups from Peg City are going into it, and basically, just to give you a couple of specs, the neck is 43 gauge polycoat, and the bridge is 42 gauge polycoat as well. The neck output is 8.6. The bridge is 7.6. And the magnets are, it's a blend. So you have an A5 in the EAD pole and an A2 in the GBE pole, which basically gives you the best of both worlds. So it's kind of a hybrid. So each one of these is a different magnet. The first three and the second three, it's a hybrid. And it's going to sound great, guys. Guaranteed. So I can't wait to get these Peg City pickups in that Telecaster. It's coming along. It's coming along. Hopefully soon I'll be able to build that and play it and enjoy it, because I've been dying to build that thing. So enough about me, guys. Let's talk about you guys. So Quicksilver says black is too close to Fender's new Dark Knight Telecaster Strat Jazzmaster. It's a good point. Good point. Hey Charles, nice to see you. So that's a good point. Let's see. Ford Chevy. Can't go wrong. Either way, it's a Telecaster. So Vox can't make up his mind. Charles says, okay, Silver, go with Blackguard, Tony. Everything will pop. That's also true. Jack likes the off-white. Billy says black because my room is painted eggshell black. Cool. Henry says black. Frank says white. Senior Edit says white. Fat Philosopher says black. Cool Tunes Made Easy says white. Oh, it's almost like James says black. Keith says dark. The Nice says black. Billy Bear says black. Alan says black. Wow. Cohen says white. Rich says black. Jason says ivory. Kush says off-white. I don't know. I gotta take a tally on this, but it seems like seems like more people are favoring the black. Okay. We're gonna have to see here. All right. Let me think about that. But I think as far as the votes go, I think the black wins. Am I right or am I wrong, guys? So let's go to a couple of updates. Some of you have said that you've got more gear and you've purchased some new things. So Cushman says that he hot-rodded his Bugera V5 with a Celestian speaker and 2 new Russian tubes. Sounds much better. Yeah. The experience I have with amplifiers and cabinets specifically is a speaker swap could make a huge difference. And the only thing is, once you start jumping down that rabbit hole, there's a lot of experimentation that you can do. But in my experience, I've done that a few times with my amps. Like pickups, you guys know I like to play around with my pickups. Same idea for the speakers. You got to get the right speakers. Often, however, you go around 360 and you normally, end up sometimes discovering that the original pickup sounded the original speakers sounded the best, because the companies do, these tests as well. So unless you're looking for something that is really kind of left of center in terms of sound, so you might just discover that the original speaker was the best choice. It happens. But I've changed the speaker in my in that Fender Supersonic. The stock speaker, that's not a stock speaker in there anymore. What else? I've changed in my old Blues Junior that I had changed the speaker in that one as well. And I have a couple of cabinets behind me that are that I've played around with speakers. I have a 112 cabinet as well as a 212 and a 412. And I usually use the 112 to experiment. Whenever I want to try a new speaker, I'll put it in the 112 extension cabinet and I'll plug it into the amplifier to see how it sounds. And then if I like it, I'll put it into the amp, But yeah, speakers definitely change the sound tremendously. That's what's generating the tone. So, of course, it's going to do that. I'm glad you came by, Jonathan, to say hi. Jonathan says he's hungry, he's going and eat. No problem. I understand that. I'm always one that you can see that I like my eating as well. So enjoy your meal, Jonathan. What else here? Let me go through and see who else had some comments. Regarding some gear. So the ex-wife wants to get me a new guitar. Think I'll stick to my trusty old Schecter. New guitar come with old wife. No deal. Oh yeah. Decisions. Okay, let me go back to... So, sorry guys, I'm jumping around. Yeah, the black will definitely pop the silver. Paisley pickguard, I want to keep it more subtle. And clear... I'm not crazy about the clear pick guards. They end up getting cloudy because with all the scratches. Seth wants me to send me that Telecaster neck to Plek. Seth, how do I do that? How do I send that to you? And how long does it take? Maybe we should talk. Send me some information, Seth. I believe you can contact me. There should be some contact information. Send me some information. I'd love to learn more about it, honestly. As long as it doesn't take forever, because I'm itching to build this thing. Yeah, so Charlie's saying go with black too. Everything will pop. So I guess, yeah, I guess black seems to be the winner. The sad part is I wanted to put the black pickguard specifically on the butterscotch body that I'm building, because the butterscotch white doesn't go with the butterscotch. So I'm going to have to buy another black pickguard, and then I'm going to have an extra white one lying around. So that's no good. Charlie says, Tony, if you're going to use white guard, try soaking it in strong black coffee for about a week. It will give a cool aged look. Yeah, I've done that before. I've done that, Charlie. I used the coffee trick. I've used the you can also use what's it called? The spice, not paprika. What the hell's it called? The red spice there. I'm drawing a blank. You can use. You can also use curry, actually. A custom black pickguard made from an old record album would rock. That's a cool idea. Never thought of that. Cool Tune says, I'm still chasing a Telecaster, but I'm milking it, kind of like floor play. Quicksilver says, I haven't actually received it yet, but the Lefty CGST guitar I ordered, relic Daphne Blue, roasted maple, stainless steel frets, is on its way. They sent a picture, not sure how to share it. Send it to me by email if you can. My email is riplead@gmail.com. RIPLEAD @gmail.com. Swapped the white guard on my Sunburst Telecaster to black. White, black, 3-ply, and it looks a lot better now. Sunburst with a black goes, I think it goes well. Because the contrast. I think, that's the key with the colors on a guitar. The more contrast, the better. Like black with a white pickguard looks better than black on black, in my opinion. A black body with a maple neck tends to look better than a black body with a rosewood neck. So the contrast is what really gives it the pop. With the purple, because purple's not really, it's kind of like, it's not extremely dark, it's not extremely light, it's kind of in the middle, it could go both ways. But yeah. CG have lefties now. I'd love to review one of those CG guitars. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. They do look nice. I'm going to see if I can get one. Bruce says, just remember that the time you spent swapping the pickups could have been spent practicing, which might have made a bigger difference in the tone. Bruce, not might have, would have. That's why I'm addicted, guys. You understand? It's not a question of, I know what's right and wrong. I know I shouldn't be putzing around with this stuff, but then we wouldn't have a channel and we wouldn't be talking. I'd be practicing, So you have to appreciate it for what it is. I'll hit you up, Seth. No problem. We'll talk, okay? Got new pickups on your Tobacco Burst PRS yet? Nico, come on. You're late to the show. I've been, I actually swapped them out. I was holding the guitar just 2 seconds ago. So let me grab that one more time. I'll show it to you since you missed it. Obviously, guys, the people that have been tuning into the show know that it's not it was just a matter of time. There you go, Nico. That's what we have on the guitar right now. A set of raw nickel covers, Peg City 59s. That's what we have in there. How's it look? Do I have a vote of approval? By the way, on this guitar, guys, I just wanted to say one of the things, and my chair seems to be floating away on me here. One of the things that I wanted to say about this model, you can see the bridge. The bridge is not adjustable. It doesn't have any saddles. It's fixed. It's like locked in place. You can't adjust it. But the way it's designed, should allow you to have no issue with intonation. My American PRS has the same bridge on it. And a lot of you guys might not like that because you feel that you can't get proper intonation. I just want to say, don't worry about it. It really is not an issue at all. The way the neck, the bridge has been designed is very accurate. And you actually do have adjustment. There's little Allen keys. I don't know if you can see that at the bottom behind each one of the posts. So there's one there, one there. You have an Allen key. The Allen key allows you to push back the bridge, twist it, or do whatever you need to do to get it intonated. But honestly, guys, it's bang on. Like, I don't have to do anything to it. So unless I go with really heavy gauge strings or change the gauge of strings a lot, I would not necessarily have any issues with that. Now, the Zach Myers PRS that I have has the newer bridge, which is adjustable. And I didn't have to touch that one either. So just to say, don't worry about it. It really is not an issue. So there you got your answer, Nico. Maybe Nico's new. He doesn't know that I put new pickups and everything. Quicksilver says, I think they are more made to order, so reach out to them via Facebook and place an order. That's what I did. CG Guitars Europe. Yeah, I think that's what you need to do if you want to contact them. Thunder Falcon, nice to be back. I'm literally recovering from quadruple bypass and a pacemaker. And he says black. Wow. Thunder Falcon, what the hell happened to you, man? Quadruple bypass. That couldn't have been an easy operation. Well, I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad they got the ticker all sorted out. And I guess with the new pacemaker now, the timing is going to be bang on, right? I'm joking, but honestly, that's, wow. Glad to see everything's okay with you. Charles75N says, how about a black Perloid pick guard? That probably would be cool. I didn't think of that. I'm going to have to order another pick guard. Honestly, depends on where you order your pick guards from. Sometimes they show up super quick and sometimes they take forever. I ordered a single humbucker black pickup for another project that I'm working on. It's a Strat that I'm kind of converting into kind of an EVH hybrid kind of guitar, and I wanted a pick guard with one humbucker and one volume hole in it. It took forever. It just arrived yesterday, and I was waiting for the pick guard to be able to see whether or not I have to fill in the holes in the body or if the holes would match up, and of course they don't match up. So I just filled in the holes, I primed the body, and I'm going to try to do something a little bit funky with the paint job on that one. That's another project that I'm working on. But yeah, the Perloid, which would look cool. On this project, I'm kind of going with a black on black design, but I'm going to do something to commemorate Eddie Van Halen without going with the red, black, and white. So it's going to be like a dark black and sort of a metallic-y striped thing. I don't know if it's going to come out well or not because I could mess up the whole thing, but I'm going to try. We'll see. That's it, John. Turmeric. That's what it is. That's the spice. So if you guys don't know that trick and you want to take a pick guard that is light in color and you want to make it look kind of aged, you put it in some turmeric, you let it stay there for a few days, and it basically stains the plastic. Hey John, no problem if you're late. I think you were busy with Shane's show, so that's no problem here. Ginger spice. No, it's not ginger spice, James. That won't work. And Henry says, why not black and white split in diagonal? Or maybe striped? What do you think? Nah, I don't think so. Paul says Tony got every Marshall OD covered, even a few ODs doing the gourmet amp thing like Soldano, etc. I did not have a modern metal. I just got an amp tweaker, tight metal, standard, half price, 140 USD. Interesting, interesting. So that one covers your bases, Paul. Is that it? It's working out for you. I gotta check that one out. The amp tweaker, eh? I'm not familiar with that one. Hey Shane, you're still awake, buddy. Shane just had his show. I was watching it just before doing my show this morning, and I guess Shane's a night owl because it can't be early there in Australia. Great show as usual, Shane. Great information. Thanks, Quicksilver. I appreciate that. I'll check it out after the show. One thing I wanted to say, and I know a lot of you guys don't like the birds. Some people like the PRS guitars, but they don't like the birds. And it used to be that the birds were kind of premium, and the early model PRS guitars didn't always come with the birds. You would have to pay extra for them. Now it looks like they understand everybody's okay with the birds, so they're kind of putting them stock, and it's kind of hard to get the models without the birds. But I was looking at these birds the other day, close up, really close up, and it's amazing how precisely these things are fit in to the neck. You don't see any filler. I can't even get close enough. You have to take a super close-up shot. But you know how sometimes you buy these guitars and you look around the inlays and you can see like they've put filler glue to fill in the gaps. There's no glue, man. It's like, how the hell do they fit them in? I know that they send the rosewood to a company that laser cuts the shapes for the birds and the birds themselves. So I guess that's why they're so precise, because they're all laser cut. So they fit in there like butter. I don't know. But this is the quality you're getting from these kind of instruments. That's why I wouldn't hesitate picking up one of these guitars at all. Like I mentioned in my review, it's great quality, and the necks play like butter on these guitars. That's the main reason why I buy them. It's the necks. They're just amazing. And I like the single cuts. I'm not a big fan of the double cuts. And I like the 245 scale length. I don't like the other scale lengths. I've tried the 22s, didn't like them. But the 245s are great, man. They're amazing. So don't hesitate. John says, oh yeah, we're all lining up for the next Addicted to Practicing live stream. I know you guys are not lining up for anything. I mean, that's the whole point, right? We love gear. We got to talk about gear. That's the whole point. No, I like watching people play online as well. But I like gear more, unfortunately. Interested in these Peg City now. The vintage output is on point. Yeah, you know, I'm always looking for great pickups, and I'm gonna be swapping some pickups and other guitars, guys. So don't be shocked, don't be alarmed. You know that this is what's happening. I have a few more sets of pickups. I have a nice Strat set that I want to try. The Telecaster set is going into the Telecaster build I just talked about. I have another 2 humbucker sets. What else? I'm running out of guitars to put pickups in. I gotta do something about that. But definitely is a lot of fun trying out pickups. The only disadvantage when you're doing that is that you become kind of a cork sniffer snob, and then like every pickup is not good enough, and you have to swap them out. That's kind of where I'm at now. And sometimes that's a little bit annoying, but the great thing is when you nail a great sounding set of pickups that doesn't cost a lot of money, then you're in business. That's, you know, the best kept secret. Unfortunately, a lot of the pickups that I've tried that I do like are not inexpensive, unfortunately. But on the other hand, I've tried sets of pickups that are very expensive and I didn't like them. I tried a set of Lawler pickups in a Strat that I purchased. It actually came with the Lawler pickups, and I took them out. I sold them because I didn't like them. Believe it or not, for the Strat sound so far, from the ones that I've tried, I always gravitate towards the Tone City, City Limits. Sorry, not Tone City. Tone Rider, City Limits. And if Shane's still here, Shane, I believe they're a lot easier to get in Australia. They might even come from Australia. I'm not really sure. But the Tone City, Tone Rider, City Limits. Not the other ones. I've tried all of the other ones as well because I was hoping to get a set that I would like just as much. And I've tried some of their humbuckers, didn't like them. I've tried a couple of other ones. But the City Limit ones are fantastic. And I have them in a couple of my guitars. Probably at least 3 of my guitars right now. And I think I also have a set of their Telecaster pickups in one of my Telecasters as well. And they're not expensive. You can get a set of Tone City pickups for about $100, 100, maybe a little bit more now with shipping and whatnot, but still way less expensive than what you would get from other brands. Do burst bucker covers fit over Seymour Duncan's? Good question. I wouldn't assume that they always do fit because the spacing of the holes can sometimes be different depending on what humbuckers you got. There's F-spaced, regular spaced, so the holes may not line up. You got to check the spacing that it was made for. I also noticed that I had a Tokai which I took the pickups out of, and they were gold covers, and I wanted to reuse those in another guitar. So I was trying to see if another pickup cover would fit, and it doesn't. So don't always assume that it will be swappable. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. You're best like taking the two and making sure you can measure them side by side. Dan says, my Gibson DC Tribute has the same design for a single bridge. Yeah, that's one of the cool things that I like about this guitar. Is that you don't have the bridge and then the tailpiece. You just have the bridge. So it's kind of like a wraparound, you know. Well, in fact, I mean, it is a wraparound because the string does go behind and over. And it has the little slots. So really nicely designed bridge in my opinion. I like them a lot. On my American one, it is made of aluminum. I think it's probably aluminum here too, which does tarnish, but who cares? You know, that's what you get when you play your guitar. But they sound fantastic. And, you know, this guitar was mint when I bought it. Used, a great deal. And the best part of it is it doesn't have the ugly 245 up here. They changed that. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys remember. The older models had a big, ugly block 245 on the headstock. It said SE 245. I don't know who came up with that idea, but they should be shot. They changed that now, so they have the PRS signature. They made the SE a lot smaller, so it's there. You hardly see it now. And they put the 245 there on the truss rod cover. Way nicer in my opinion. This one doesn't come with the tulip style tuners. It has the more modern style tuners. I like the tulip style tuners. I'm not going to lie, I just like them. The American one I have has tulip style tuners on it. Some people don't like them. For now, I think these ones will stay. I don't want to make additional holes in the guitar. That's one thing I really don't like. When I buy a used guitar and somebody takes the headstock and changes out the tuners, I don't mind that they're changing out the tuners, but I would prefer if they would use the existing hole and get a set of tuners that don't require another hole back there, because it ends up looking like Swiss cheese after a while. And I'm just anal like that. I'm just catching up on some of the comments. Nico's asking me, is that the worn finish? Are you referring to the pickups, these guys? They're raw nickel. It's basically not chromed. So the raw nickel, what ends up happening with raw nickel covers is that they age, they tarnish with sweat and whatnot. They end up getting grimy. Not grimy, but they age. And I really like that look. The chrome never really changes. It stays shiny all the time. It really, I mean, this guitar next to my American made one is probably going to get more play time because I'm more worried to ding or scratch the American made one. And this one, you know, I wouldn't want to damage it either, but it's not the end of the world. James, I might change that name. What do you think? Addicted to solder. Addicted to pickups. Maybe that would be another channel that I can actually start. Seth says, PRS Silver Sky are some of the best I've ever played, but they are apparently unavailable separately. That's something that I've seen Fender do as well. One of the a really nice set of Fender pickups that I had, probably the best sounding Fender pickups, was a set of custom shop pickups that came in a specific guitar that I purchased, and I should have taken those pickups out when I sold the guitar, but I didn't, because obviously people that buy those guitars know that those are the pickups that you're getting in them. Amazing, 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 but you can't buy those pickups separately. And it's just one of those things that companies do to mess with your brain sometimes. Fat Philosopher says, get a purple mirror pickguard. I'm going to get one of those cracked mirror pickguards like, you know, Kiss used to have. And I'll just blind everybody when I'm on stage. John says, you would have been better off making your own pickguard. I don't have the tools or the patience. And my pickguard wouldn't come out the way I wanted it anyways. I know you have to make a template and whatever. Never tried making a pickguard, and I don't think I want to start. Hey Jamel, nice to see you here, my friend. Thunder Falcon. Cool Tunes Made Easy. Tony and Solder, best of friends. Like this. Try a thin line style pickguard, but you may need to forego the metal control plate. But if you do with black, get the black, white, black 3-ply for the white trim, which will look nice. I think the black, I like on most of my guitars, at least if it's not a special build, I do like the 3-ply. I just find it's nice to have that, you know, perimeter line around. John says, nearly 1 a.m. where Shane and I are. 1 a.m. is relatively early. That's not too bad. I thought it'd be later than that. Fat Philosopher says, Jamel says, I've been busy with work lately, but when I do have a free moment, I've been playing the Les Paul and the 69 Strat. They are my two favorite lately. You can't go wrong with those two guitars. And I've been doing the same thing. I've been working like crazy during the week, and I've at the end of the day, it's kind of hard to get energy to make some videos. But I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Fender Custom Shop Master Build, Apprentice Build, Team Build. Which is the best value? None of them, guys. I always say the custom shop stuff, I mean, it's great in terms of, you know, you're getting something that a lot of people want, but I don't know, at this point, I don't know really if I would ever spend that kind of money on a custom shop guitar, because I can pretty much set up my own guitars. Probably just as good or better than the custom shop stuff, except I don't have a certificate that says custom shop, and I'm not going to be paying $5,000 or $6,000 for a Strat. It's just doesn't make sense in my brain. I think if you're able to set up your own guitars, you can set them up to play like butter, and they don't necessarily have to be custom shop. You can get the same body, the same neck. You can build your own, and at a fraction of the cost, and you could build them just as good with a little bit of practice and patience. I know some of you guys won't agree. I know some of you guys prefer the custom shop stuff. If you got the scratch, God bless you, man. Run all the way to the store. Do what you want to do with your money, but it's not for me. AM Tweaker pedals are designed by James Brown, who designed the 5150 for Eddie Van Halen. Interesting, interesting. I'm not familiar with that, Paul, so I would have to look at it. I had right over here, you guys can't see it, but I have 3 pedals set up. You might be able to see it right here. Actually, let me put my guitar down here. Let me put my guitar down, because we're talking about overdrive pedals. So just to show you guys what I've been working on. Well, not working on, but this is my OCD kicking in. So let me unplug these. So this is the crazy stuff I do in my spare time. Crazy stuff I do in my spare time. As you know, I like to tinker with pedals, so I've been playing around with 3 of the pedals that 3 out of more than 3 overdrive pedals that I have here. But I was just taking the Fireman, the Pinnacle from Wampler, and the Friedman, and I've been playing them side by side because these typically should sound quasi-similar. The Fireman is supposed to be a pedal that is supposed to sound like a Friedman. So obviously I wanted to try these 2 together and see how if they do sound the same. And the Pinnacle is a great sounding pedal. And there's one more. I think I left it on the... where did I put it? There was one more pedal in the bunch, and I don't know where I put it now. Oh, it's on my board. There we go. Let me just take that one. And then there's this one. So I was actually comparing 4 of them. All right, let's talk about this a little bit because... So... there's this one, which I built myself. This is Brown Sound in a Box 2, which this pedal, the Pinnacle, and the Plextortion were 2 of them that I started off playing with, and I ended up keeping the Pinnacle because I felt the Pinnacle sounded better than the Plextortion. So I sold the Plextortion. Then I actually built this pedal. And this pedal, Brown Sound in a Box 2, you can get from General Guitar Gadgets. If you know how to build stuff and you like solder like I do, and a little bit of patience, you can build this one. They also used to sell these pedals pre-built. You can just buy them, you pay a little extra, and they're pre-built. But I don't know if they're doing that anymore right now, but you can still buy this as a kit. This thing kicks ass. It knocked this pedal off my board, which I had for a long time, just because I felt that this pedal sounded more like an amplifier, more open. It just harmonically sounded better, in my opinion. And then recently I ended up picking up this, because a lot of people are raving about this one, and I wanted to try it. So I had this one, this one, this one, and this one side by side, and I was A-Bing them. That's going to be a video on its own. That's going to be, definitely deserves a video. And without spilling the beans, the cool thing about the Friedman, and it's opened here, there's a trim pot in here. Okay, I don't know if you guys see it. There's a little white trim pot right there. This trim pot has a lot of gain on tap. And I feel that the pedal sounds better when the gain is actually turned down. When you turn it up, it gets a lot more bass out of it. It gets a lot very bass heavy. A little bit too much, in my opinion. So although this sounds good for certain types of music, it's based on the BE sound, which tends to be very big. So that's what you're getting with this one. This, which is supposed to be a Friedman clone-ish, 2-channel, it's actually a pretty cool pedal, but I find it does sound a little bit fizzy compared to all of the others. So you can get some decent sounds out of it at a lower cost, but it doesn't sound as good. And again, I gotta say, the one that keeps coming out on top for me is this one. And it's a shame, you know, you can't get these like in the store. You can't buy these, you have to build them. But, you know, a great pedal. And the good thing is, since I built it, if everything breaks on it, I should be able to fix it, you know. So that's sort of the rundown there. If you guys want to hear that as a video review, I'd be happy to make sort of a video review of different types of overdrive. Of course, you know, I got stuff like this, the Tube Screamer, which is like a clone of all the other Tube Screamers out there. I got, you know, this also, which is kind of, people claim it sounds identical to a Tube Screamer, even though it's cheaply made. So maybe I'll throw that one in as well, and maybe we'll make a video of all of them put together. But just to give you a little highlight of what I discovered playing around with some of these. Quicksilver says, if pedals have trim pots, I chuck them in the bin. Put the damn switches outside the casing. I agree. I don't know why they would do that, right? It's true. You should have a... I know that there's some companies that have a little hole drilled in the side where you can at least put a screwdriver and play around with the trim pot. The Wamplers, I mean, instead of having that, they just basically have the switches where you have the modern gain or the, you know, vintage modern kind of a boost thing. But it's the same idea. Yeah, I think that would make a cool video, right, Jonathan? I don't know. I should put that on my list of to-dos. How much is the kit? So this one, I don't know how much they're selling for now. I think when I bought them, they were about, I'm gonna say $60, $65, around there. But I don't know recently if they've changed prices. They have a whole bunch of different builds. So if you're interested in building your own pedals, the resources are quite good, and you can learn a lot out of what to do and what not to do if it doesn't turn out right. But mine works, and I also was considering getting another one just as a backup to this one. But I like it. I like it a lot. Kramer says, I just uploaded a video about chords, but I'm not shoving chords into people's throats because it's not helpful at all. When you say chords, are you talking about guitar chords or are you talking about the lead cables? I'm not sure. Dear chat, I vote we ignore this party pooper. Who's the party pooper? So guys, what else? I mean, I'm hogging the show here. I'm talking about me. It's not all about me. I want you guys to ask some questions. Go ahead. Feel free. I mean, as I mentioned, new gear, new pedals, new pickups, you know, things that you're looking for. Great deals. If you guys have come across great deals, definitely want to hear about that. Feel free. Ask away. I know you guys are shy. You don't want to talk about your stuff. I know Jonathan's got a whole bunch of gear. Jonathan, what have you got recently? What's one of your favorite new toys? I know you guys are always sneaking things in. Beyond the guitar, beyond the PRS, that's my latest acquisition. I did show you guys the kind of the Gibson Les Paul, the fake Gibson Les Paul. That one's gonna get new pickups as well. Again, I like the bridge pickup in that guitar. I might actually use that bridge pickup somewhere else, but I'm gonna try something else. And I also have a couple of other pickups here that I want to eventually talk about. But Seth says, I posted a video called Guitar Safari about finding and buying Craigslist finds. I'm up to 2 followers. That's cool. I think I need a wah. Best wah for Metallica. Honestly, I've tried the Vox wahs. I've tried the Crybaby wahs as well. And my favorite wah of all time is, drumroll, if I could find it. Man, I really need to clean up my room here. Where did I put it now? I was just playing it the other day. Oh boy. Guys, I don't know. I'm losing my marbles. Anyways, it's around here somewhere. It's the Mick Wah. Check him out. If you can Google him and you'll be able to find him. Great sounding wah pedal. Man, where did I put it? That's it. I gotta clean up this place. Great sounding wah pedal. One of the best sounding wah pedals that I've tried. They're not given away. They're not cheap, but they sound amazing. Jonathan says, I'm fooling around with a MIDI foot switch for my MG30. Jonathan, how do you like the 30 compared to the 300? I'm trying to get one. They're kind of out of stock everywhere. I want to compare it. I really like the 300. I like the sounds on the 300s a lot. I have it over here. I was just playing it the other day. But the MG30 looks like it's much better built. And if the sounds on it are as good as the 300, it's going to be a killer machine. And it's also not that expensive, right? But I just can't get my hands on one. So all right, guys. What's going on? Inventor, Landon, what's going on? No fighting, guys. Here, come on. We're all lovers here. We're not fighters. Come on. A lot of gear is out of stock at Thomann. Yep, I agree. I've been trying to get some stuff from Thomann for a long time, and it's been really a big hassle. So I've been looking on the used market instead. I get some amazing deals on the used market, guys. You just have to be ready. Do you know about the shadow potentiometer kill switch built-in? Are we talking about for a guitar now, Daniel, or are you talking about something else? I don't know. I'm losing track of what's been going on here. What is the most useful fuzz face available? Useful and fuzz face to me don't go together. I don't really. I've tried a few fuzz faces. I've built a fuzz face clone, also from one of these do-it-yourself guitar websites that sell you kits. I had a fuzz face circuit. I didn't really like it. I'm not big on fuzz. Honestly, the one I do like is also another one that I built, and I don't have it here. It's called the DSOTM, Dark Side of the Moon, which is technically, it's a kit that you can build, that I built. That one sounds amazing. It's kind of a clone of a Screddy Lunar Lander, which I actually had. The Lunar Lander to me is probably one of the most usable fuzz face type circuits, because it actually can give you fuzz, and it can go from, let's say, drive to fuzz. And so that way you can kind of dial in the sweet spot, because often what I find with fuzz circuits is that they're either too aggressive, they sound like they just like distort everything, and it's hard to play a lot of different things with it, or they're not tweakable enough. This one is amazing. So I had the Lunar Lander from Screddy, which is not a cheap pedal. I think it's over $350. And I had the one that I built, which was the Dark Side of the Moon pedal. And I ended up keeping the Dark Side of the Moon, and I sold the Screddy. And the Screddy is amazing. Don't get me wrong. If you guys can get your hands on some Screddy stuff, it's really great. But I kept that one instead. So if you can build your own pedals, I would highly recommend checking out that one. William says, got myself that Mustang headphone amp yesterday. Very cool. A lot of those ones are becoming quite popular, eh? Because you're basically, you can practice in silence and not disturb people. Guys, please. I don't want to have to kick anybody off the channel, all right? If you guys if you guys can't play nice together, we're gonna have trouble here. So please, either end it or we're gonna have to kick people off, and I don't want to do that. I 100% agree with you. No threats, all right, guys? I don't want to have to say it again. I don't want to have to get moderators on the channel. Please, let's concentrate on talking gear. I don't want to have to warn people again, okay? If people don't have something nice to say, don't say anything. That's what my mom always told me, and it always worked for me. Yeah, I agree. Henry, I agree with you, man. All right? So please. Let's move on. Let's move on. Tweed amps. Models on the MG30 are fantastic. I know, man, that unit is fantastic, and it's a shame that the first version that they came out with, which was the 300, didn't have all of the ins and outs that you would want to have to be able to do extra stuff with, but they do sound really outstanding to me. William, it's the Dark Side of the Moon. Just Google Dark Side of the Moon pedal. You should be able to find it. It's a kit. You have to build it yourself. I forget if it was, if I got it off the DIY guitar kits or something like that. Guitar pedals, or some other guitar clone pedal website, but you can Google it and you'll be able to find it. All right. And Paul says the new K-Line M Fuzz is a serious knockoff of the Big Muff, $40 US, out of stock worldwide. Yeah, if you're going for that David Gilmour sound, definitely is something that you can save some money on. The fuzz circuit, guys, is very simple. Eh? When I built my fuzz face, there was nothing to it. So, it doesn't cost a lot of money. Yeah, DSOTM. Exactly. That's the name of the pedal. Jonathan says, sounds different, sounds kind of warmer on the MG300, but the whole thing is much better on the MG30. Really? So it's warmer on the 300, eh? Interesting. But I guess the tweakability of the MG30 is a bit better. Would you say that, Jonathan? It's hard to tell sometimes because, when you're working with these kind of multi-effects units, you don't know if the sound that is being portrayed through people reviewing this has been tweaked post-processing or not. So sometimes you don't know how much time they spent on the sounds and whether or not the sounds are straight out of the box. You know, if they're out of the box and they sound great, then it's perfect. Okay, inventor, please, let's not push it. All right, let's try and all get along. Sounds awesome. Dark Side of the Moon helped raise me. Raise me? Well, that's the sound. That's the David Gilmour sound. So definitely you want to be able to, if you're looking at getting that sound, you definitely need a muff, or you definitely need some kind of fuzz to get that sound. Yeah, Jonathan, the IRs really make a big difference with a lot of these units. I feel like the stock IRs are not always very good. But if you put in some IRs, better IRs, you can get a lot of great stuff out of it. Henry says a little reverb and a little delay is enough to get that Gilmour sound. The rest is in your fingers. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's always about the fingers, but it does help to have, you know, something just to push you over the top. Hey, Jeff, what are you missing? You're not missing much. We're just talking gear. We're talking gear like usual. And I've been talking for an hour and a half coming up soon, so it's going to be the end of the show pretty soon. So if you guys have any questions about gear and acquisitions, amps, you know, whatever it may be, now's the time to ask. 1/8 note delays, guys. You know, I was struggling talking about delays because I know there was somebody asking me about this in the last show. There was somebody asking me when I was going to come up with the review of the dual time delay. I'm struggling with that unit. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I was trying to record some stuff with it, and it's having the two delays going on at the same time with that unit is challenging, man. It's hard to get a hold of how to use it properly. It's just challenging. It's great for any kind of creativity because you don't know what you're going to get. So you can pull out some great sounds or something completely off the wall. But if you're aiming to get like a specific sound, like if you're aiming to say, I'm going to emulate the delay I was getting on a U2 song, like Bad or something like that, there's quite a bit of tweaking that you need to do. So I don't know. I'm going to still make the video review, but it's a challenging pedal, I got to say. Hey, no apologies, Cohen. It's all good. You can catch it again when it posts. Know of a good speaker to pair with a Marshall DSL-20. Got a Celestion 7080 and it really sucks. Yeah, I mean, some of my favorite speakers are the Celestion 1265s, if you can get one. If you can get one that was made in England, even better. That's what I have in my 412 cabinet behind me. Those are perhaps my favorite speakers for that Marshall sound. If you can't get those and you want to get something similar, not exactly the same, you can get some Guitar Warehouse speakers. They also have a set of ET65s, which are supposed to sound similar to those vintage ones, but honestly, they don't. They sound good as far as speakers go, but they don't sound like the 65s, in my opinion. At least not what I have in my 412 cabinet there. But they're really good speakers. You can also play around with the V-type speakers or the A-type speakers. I think any of those speakers would be good. And of course, there's the vintage 30s that a lot of people like. There's the greenbacks. There's the creambacks. Those tend to be more expensive, but it depends on what kind of sound you're after. But I would say start with any of those, Nico. Fat Philosopher, if you got budget, you can definitely get it painted Sherwood green for about $250 and $300. Does anyone make a good, cheap, empty cabinets? Good and cheap. Let me think. The good cabinets are usually made of... the really good cabinets, anyways, are usually made of marine-grade plywood. If you can get those are great. I've heard that Harley Benton is actually making a cabinet that is not that expensive. It actually comes with a Celestion too. As far as what wood they're using, I've heard it's actually plywood, so not press wood or MDF. But empty cabinets, that's a great question. I don't know. I really don't know. Most of the people that make the cabinets are not empty. I know there's a few builders on eBay that actually would be able to make you a cabinet as per your specs. That's where I got my pine cabinet for my Blues Junior when I modified the cabinet and put in 212s instead of a 112. Really good quality. That was a pine, 100% pine cabinet, made a huge difference in sound. And I think they also would be able to build you a plywood version. I don't know how much it would end up costing you. I think it's the shipping that's killer. But you can go on to YouTube, just go, I always say YouTube, go on to eBay, search for cabinet, empty cabinet, guitar cabinets. You'll see there's somebody there that actually makes cabinets per your specs. You can also do that same search on Google and end up finding some people there. Jeff says, I've acquired the Cat Treble Booster Classic pedal this week. And so how are you using it in your single chain, Jeff? Just curious. Oh yeah, Quicksilver. Exactly. You were the one asking me. The dual time delay. This thing, the dual time delay, the thing that bugs me the most is that the rotary dials that reset the tap tempo when you move it a hair. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying it's a challenging pedal. You have to, and there's not one, there's two, right? So you have to like synchronize them, and it's kind of a quirky pedal, but it's cool if you want to get like unique sounds out of it. It's just that if you do find that sound, you got to like almost mark down where all the knobs are to be able to get back to that sound. Tony, I'm just dressing. I'm gonna put on your ATG tee for the day. Awesome. Awesome. If you guys want to get something like this, it's down below on my videos, and much appreciated. Yes, the 7080s do sound fizzy. I agree, Nico. They're not the best. I mean, they're budget speakers. You can usually tell, when you have a good heavy speaker with a big magnet, you end up getting a better quality thing. But I mean, it's not always the case. It depends on what you're looking for. Yeah, the Celestions, V30s, the greenbacks, those are kind of status quo. Everybody's kind of happy with that sound or something similar to that sound. So the V30s are cool. But, the Guitar Warehouse Speaker Company, if you search them, they have some really cool budget speakers that don't sound terribly bad. There's a lot of reviews on those speakers on YouTube, so you can actually see which ones you would like without having to spend a fortune. But you can get these, most of the time you can get speakers used on your local market. You just don't know until you bring them home whether or not they suffer from cone cry, or if there's an issue. It's hard to test them because normally they're not in a cabinet when you get there, right? Greenbacks are cool. Nico, you're not going to go wrong with greenbacks as long as that's the sound that you're looking for. Cool Tunes says, I agree, 7080s, haven't been 100% convinced. I have it in a Black Star. Yeah, 2x12. You know what? I don't even know what they're putting. I don't even know what I have in this Black Star. I have a Black Star Jared James Nichols. I'm not even sure what kind of speakers in there. I gotta check. Yeah, the V30s can be a little fizzy too. It depends what you're looking for, what kind of music you're playing for. What kind of music are you aiming for? Are you aiming for like all around, flexibility, or are you aiming for something else? Are you aiming for like metal, classic rock? What is it? Paul, the price for wood today is really expensive. I was looking at doing some work, and a sheet of plywood, which normally you'd be able to get for like, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks, is almost $80 now. So I'm sure that the prices have gone up on these cabinets, and you're going to be paying a lot of money for them. Charlie, I don't own an SG. That's one of the guitars I don't own. And I don't know, I've never had the itch for an SG. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. I wouldn't mind having one eventually just to kind of round out the collection, but I haven't been gassing for an SG. Bare-faced cabs, they use ported baffle design. Interesting. So kind of like some of the designs that companies like Mesa uses as well. And if I'm not mistaken, who else uses ported cabinets? There's a couple of other companies that use the ported cabinet design as well. I like the ability of having a cabinet that has the option of going either open, closed, or semi-open back. The cabinet I have here, you can't see it. It's behind the gold top. It's a voltage cabinet, and I think they're out of business now. But those cabinets are cool because they allow you to. They have 3 panels on the back. So you can either go completely closed, or you can go semi-open or completely open. And it does make a huge difference in the sound. Seth, I have heard of Eden Allen bodies. I have. You can get them. I've purchased an Eden body off of eBay a while ago. They're not bad, but the thing that you have to be careful with the Eden bodies is that the neck pockets. Pay attention to the neck pocket, because they'll have Strat style bodies that have a neck pocket that is routed for like a Telecaster style neck. It's flat at the bottom instead of being curved. And a lot of people don't catch that. And what ends up happening is they try and put a Strat neck on that body, and it doesn't work well. You end up having gaps. So I don't know if they've changed that design over time. They may have, which would be great if they did that. I haven't checked them out in a long time, but my overall impression of those bodies was that they weren't bad. Henry's asking me, what is your next guitar? I don't always know what the next guitar is. Like I mentioned, I like the CG stuff. I think I would like to try one of their guitars. I think they're pretty cool. I don't have anything specific in the horizon, but I'm always keeping my eye on the used market. I would probably like to have either a like a single cut junior type guitar. I came across something interesting local here, and I'm trying to see if the gentleman would be interested in a trade. He probably wouldn't, but you never know. And yeah, like a junior style guitar, something like that would be cool. single cut maybe. I'd like to, maybe with P90s, something like that, I think. Hey Mike, joining late today. What's up? What's up with you? Everything's cool here so far. So Jeff has got this Cat treble booster running directly into his Victory Sheriff or an AC30. The attenuator in the capacitor X has been a godsend during lockdown. Yeah, because it allows you to go crazy with the volume. So you're using the treble booster in an AC30, which is already quite trebly, or the Victory Sheriff, which is a great amp, by the way. So why do you need a treble? Why do you need to boost the treble on these amps? Isn't it trebly enough? No SG, Cushman. No, exactly. Not yet. Henry says, I love SGs. Why are we talking about Led Zeppelin? What's going on? Led Zeppelin for life. I missed something. Fat Philosopher says, I have no SG. Kind of ugly. Rather have a Les Paul. I don't like the thin body on an SG, and I find the neck is, because it's, the neck joint is kind of like very low. The body neck joint is very low. It's almost like you have to get you re-used to playing it. It's almost like the neck is a little bit too long. That's probably why. And some of the SGs that I've tried have not been balanced. They've kind of been either neck heavy or body heavy. Rich says Tony needs an SG. Yeah, maybe eventually. What? No SG coming from an SG guy? You need one. One nice thing is that you can usually find them cheaper than other Gibsons. That's true. That's true, Mike. I might eventually... Sure. I might eventually get one. I'm not saying I won't get one. I don't. There's nothing against SGs. It's just that I don't feel like I'm gassing for one at this very minute. Paul says the best deal is a used trainer cab. They still use Baltic birch ply. I mean, that's an option, right? You just buy something, even though it has speakers in it, if you can get it at a good price. And then just take out the speakers, sell them, and go with that. If I'm not mistaken, what was that other brand? There's another brand that actually made some pretty good cabinets as well. It escapes me right now. Someone has to contribute to his SG fund. Henry says, I have both. You should try an SG. Vox Guitars Rock says, a Dylan 61. John says, I have an SG style guitar that I would like to play more, but don't really like the neck profile. I like the shape, weight, and look of SGs though. I mean, I could probably get a knockoff SG style guitar for not too much money. Lempu says, should I buy a Kramer Beretta Special to turn into a Frankenstrat copy, or go for the higher price Kramers? Please help. I mean, it depends what you want to do there, Lempu. The Kramer Beretta Specials are unbeatable for the price. You can't buy a body and a guitar for that price normally. So you're getting a body, you're getting a painted body with hardware, a really nice neck with hardware for peanuts. So whenever I see one, I snag one up. As you guys know, I bought another one recently. It's right, you can see it there, the salmon color guitar right there. And I have the black one that I put the Vega Trem on. I would say you don't necessarily have to spend your money on a more expensive version. Put that money towards upgrades on the guitar and maybe upgrading the pickup, and you're in business. The Vega Trem in the Beretta works really, really well. You can upgrade the pickup and you're in business. It's up to you how you want to do it, but you don't have to go crazy. Landon says, any update on the purple style Telecaster build? Sorry if you've already shown it. I have, Landon, but I'll show it again. What the hell? It's right here. So I'm not finished. I spent most of my day trying to buff this thing yesterday. I'm about 80% of the way there. There's the body so far. And it's starting to get shiny, but not shiny enough. There it is. So I need to still buff it a little more. 100-year-old pine body. And there you go. It's going to be killer when it's finished. I went through the information earlier on in the show. So if you want, you can just rewind the video, or when it's posted later on, just take a look at it. And I talked about the pickups that I'm putting in there as well as the hardware. And I'm hoping to get this thing built really soon. I'm itching. I'm dying to play this thing. It's going to be killer. Daniel says, Tony, next guitar, maybe Wormouth. The Wormouth stuff is amazing. You can go in their Screaming Deal section and get a really nice body, but it's still expensive. I mean, if you factor in everything and the exchange and the shipping and the duties. I'm in Canada, remember. So it's not always a great deal, but the guitar bodies seem to be really, really nice. Some of those are really nice. You can hear the dog snoring. Yeah, her name is Maya. She's back here. She snores really loud. Okay, T, I'm getting one. Eden Allen body. I'll confirm that the pocket is beveled for a Strat heel. Yeah, if you get that, if you get it, and also make sure you look at the wood. What kind of wood is it made out of? Because you don't want to get a heavy body, but you can get some really nice stuff. There's a seller on eBay that I purchased bodies from. He makes some really good quality bodies. They're not cheap, but they're really good. I have a Strat body, which is waiting for another time when I have time to build another Strat. Because there's too many things going on, guys. I have 2 Telecaster builds, the purple Telecaster, the butterscotch Telecaster build. I have a 335 that I was building that's still waiting, that I need to get to. I have another Les Paul style body kit that I want to build that has for a 1 humbucker style build that I have. I have the Strat body that is going to eventually be another guitar. And I have another kit coming on the way, which I will talk about when it's here. That's 6 different guitar builds that I'm slowly trying to get done. It's taking a lot of time, but I enjoy it because it gives me something to do. And my wife's going crazy with the painting because it smells really bad. My advice, guys, if you can buy a guitar body that's already painted, do that. Because if you have to paint it yourself, it's a lot of work and it doesn't always turn out great. And there's risks that you can mess it up. I had to go with the purple for the Telecaster because I wasn't able to find a body in that specific purple. The butterscotch one was more of a test, but that one's coming out nice as well. So that'll probably be another keeper. I'm just trying to get cheap, good quality necks. That's my biggest challenge right now, is to get a good quality neck. I have a neck for the Strat, so that one's okay. I have one of the necks, the maple neck for the purple Telecaster. I don't have another maple neck for the butterscotch one, so I'm looking for one like that too, eventually. This channel just helped me buy gear. Seth, stick around, man. It won't be the last purchase, that's for sure. Nico. So Nico's asking me, you asked which type of music I want to play with the Marshall and the speaker. Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin. Oh, good. Led Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses, and AC/DC. Perfect. Knowing that, I'm going to say the 65. Try and get the 65. If you can get the Celestion 65, that would be bang on. So Landon says he also doesn't have any gas for SGs. I don't know what it is, Landon. For me, it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's not an ugly guitar. And I like AC/DC, so, you know, there's always that. When people see an SG, they automatically think AC/DC or even early Santana. Because I think Carlos was playing an SG during Woodstock at one point. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not going crazy over the SGs. Maybe I just haven't found the right one yet. I don't know. Cool Tune says, Seth, the channel makes you buy gear, not helps. Not helps. Yeah, it doesn't help if you're buying more gear. That's for sure. Quicksilver says that was actually going to be my purchase this month. Gibson SG61, something other because I'm not a big fan of the large pickguards on the standards. But again, out of stock for quite a few weeks. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that right now, that Gibson they're going to be starting up again. But you got to put your orders in right now if you want to get something. So I don't know how much of an opportunity you're going to have to buy a brand new Gibson, but you might be able to sneak something in. Otherwise, I would just say look on the used market. And you guys were asking me what other guitar I would be looking into right now. What I would really like would be like an older hollow body, like an SG, like a 3.3 SG. You guys are mixing me up now. Going with like a 335 style guitar, something older, something a little bit more vintagey. I have one now, but I'd be willing to part with that guitar if I can get an older one and I can flip for it. I think the older stuff is better in my opinion. Someone's asking me here. I'm gonna get banned. Wants to know if I still have the Brunetti Pleximan. Do you recommend it? I have a car clean amp right now that I would sell for it. What kind of car amp do you have? Just wondering, because I do have the Pleximan and I've actually also been gassing for a car amplifier, depending on which model. I highly recommend the Brunetti Pleximans if you're into that sound, if you want to get sort of a Marshall sound with more flexibility, because the Pleximan does deliver the goods when it comes to that Marshall tone. It's got plenty of volume. This thing kicks ass in terms of volume. You can dial it down to 5 watts, but it's still loud even at 5 watts. The advantage with this amp is it does have the 2 channels. So you have the clean, the dirty. So you can use the clean side of things as a pedal platform. It works really well. Gain, plenty of gain. You can go from low, medium, and it has the switches. So you can tweak the brightness depending on the volume that you're playing. You can get it more mellow or brighter. It's got the effects loops in the back of it as well. It is a great amplifier, I gotta say. Not just because it's made in Italy and I have Italian heritage, but it's a great amplifier. And honestly, it's not overpriced. You know, how do I feel compared to the Dirty Shirley? The Dirty Shirley is a fantastic amplifier too, also in that Marshall territory, but they're not the same. Right now there's 3 amplifiers that I have behind me. The Dirty Shirley, which is there. The Brunetti Plexi Man, which is, where is it? There. That's the Plexi Man. And right beside that one is the Black Star. There. All three do that Marshall thing. They're all great amplifiers in their own right. Very different price ranges. I love them all, but they all do something very different. The Dirty Shirley is a one-channel amp. There's no switching. It's basically Marshall. Doesn't get very clean. It's always on the edge of breakup. So if you're looking for something clean, like the Plexis, typically were relatively clean until you dialed up the gain, the volumes, right? The Dirty Shirley doesn't really do it that way. It has a really great master volume, which the early Plexis didn't have. So you can get a lot of gain at a lower volume. Thank God for that, because the guitar, that amplifier kicks ass in terms of volume. A fantastic amplifier. I'm probably never going to sell that amplifier. The Dirty Shirley is fantastic. But it's a little bit more limited in terms of flexibility, right? You need to play with your volume knob. You need to be able to control it in different ways. The Brunetti has a lot of flexibility built into it so that you can really tweak the sounds and get what you're after through the amplifier itself. And then the Black Star is kind of in between. It has a lot of the flexibility, has a built-in reverb, master volume, low gain, effects loop. It has all of that stuff as well. And it does sound good. In my opinion, it sounds good. And I haven't even swapped speakers in it or anything. The only thing I find with the Black Star is that the clean channel sort of has its own specific voicing, which may or may not play well with your pedals, depending on what you're trying to do with it. So that's a long-winded answer for a very simple question. I hope that helps. Let me just go back to some questions here. William says, I really like how that purple Prophecy SG looks. I've been considering buying it, but without being able to try it, I don't know. Yeah, try it first, man. William, trust me. Don't buy a guitar without trying it first. I've done that so many times. I regret it all the time. Unless I know the guitar, like I've tried that particular model elsewhere, that's okay. But if you haven't, try it first. I went to a store recently. Well, recently. It seems recently, but it's not really that recent. I went to a store and I tried out the Epiphone, the Junior. Just to try it out, because I figured, what the hell. I didn't like it at all, man. It was like, I put it right back. So if I would have bought that guitar sight unseen, would have been a big mistake. Paul says an SG does play very different. It takes getting comfortable with. Mine sounds killer. I would never change a thing. All Fenders are easy to adopt a feel, or even Fenders are easy to adopt a feel for even a Mustang. I'm sure your SG's fantastic, Paul. I mean, a lot of people that have SGs love them. I've heard some killer SGs. I mean, the sound is great. It's just getting used to the guitar itself. Henry says, got an SG 2017 T with classic 57s. Wonderful. I love classic 57s. That's what I have in my 335. One of my favorite pickups. That's something you can try. Moving the button from behind the neck heel to the upper horn. They also have, there's a company that actually makes bars that you can actually put behind, like where the strap is. You can actually attach it to that point, and it actually pushes the attachment point further out on your guitar. You can Google it. I don't know what they're called, but it's just like an extension bracket. Yeah, you got to be careful if you're drilling into a guitar. The thing when you're drilling into a guitar, sometimes the wood will split. You got to be super careful. Never go into a guitar body with a screw without making a pilot hole first. That's guaranteed to split the body eventually. Fat Philosopher Tony joined the Great Guitar Build-Off competition. Is that happening again? Are they doing that one again? I wasn't privy to that. I don't know. Could be cool. Yeah, 6, Seth. 6. I don't know how long it's going to take me. And you're a full-time tech. Imagine. I'm not a full-time tech, but I like building stuff. Got me thinking maybe purple Telecaster growing on me. Yeah, I'm telling you, they're cool guitars. You can buy, if you guys didn't catch it at the beginning of the video, I mentioned where you can get that paint. That paint is oxfordsupply.ca, and it's called Royal Purple Metallic. That was mixed specifically for me. Henry says, Tony, with so many gears to build, you should move to Memphis to build a factory. You know, Memphis is the new hotspot. Apparently, everybody's moving there right now. I'd love to be able to make money building guitars. That would be a dream come true for me. Unfortunately, I think it's too late. Frank says, Tony, I just bought 2 necks eBay and got 1. Where did you buy them from? Please don't tell me the Stratosphere. Please. Fat Philosopher says, I ordered a purple Telecaster from Anderton's. Yeah, I know. You told me. That's the Squire one, right? Or is that another model that they're offering now? Are you still boycotting Stratosphere? Yeah, I am, Daniel. I am, man. I told you the story. I'm not gonna support a company that doesn't support their customers. Unfortunately, that's the way I am. There's a lot of other companies out there that are doing really great customer support, care about their customers, and will do whatever they need to do to make it right if something's not right. And Stratosphere, in my experience, was not one of them. None of us would buy. John says, yep, none of us would buy any gear without these guns to our heads, forcing us to buy stuff we don't want. Jeff says, I got gas for one of the Dark Knight Telecasters. Yeah, they look pretty nice, I gotta say. It's just, for me, guys, it's the price. I just feel whenever I go into the guitar stores and I look at the price, I mean, maybe it's because I'm an older guy and I remember the prices being way more affordable than they are today. I don't know what it is. I just feel like I'm getting clipped. So just that in itself puts like a psychological downer on me. You know, I'm not cheap. I'm frugal, but I know that there's deals all over the place for used gear, and you can get some really great stuff on the used market for next to a steal. I mean, I wouldn't have picked up that PRS if I didn't think it was a great deal. The way I go about it, guys, is like this. If I can get a deal where I know I can flip it and get my money back, not necessarily make a profit, but at least get my money back because the deal is good, is that good, I'm okay with it. Because I know eventually there's a lot of gear that comes in and out of this house that it's going to get flipped eventually, and I don't like taking a hit. So, you know, if the PRS, for example, if I would have, the guy was asking for more than what I ended up paying for it, and I kind of talked him down, and I talked him down enough that it would be worthwhile for me to buy it because I know I would be able to get that money back easily if I wanted to sell it. No brainer. But if it's something that I'm paying premium for and I don't feel I'd be able to flip it even on the used market for the asking price, I won't do it. And the new guitars, I don't want to take a hit on that stuff. There's plenty of guys buying new guitars out there. Let them take the hit. I'll buy them. I'll buy it from them after they get fed up of it, you know, and I'll save myself 40 or 50% sometimes. I'm going to get banned, says you asked about which car regarding Brunetti. I have a car Victory, love it very much, and I've had it for years, but overdrive pedals are fizzy due to bright cap. And you're from Montreal. Well, I'm also from Montreal, so maybe we should talk. I don't know. I don't know. I've been looking at the Victory. I've been looking at the car stuff. The thing is, I haven't had the opportunity to try one in person because they're just hard to get your hands on. So I don't really know if it'd be something I'd gravitate towards in person, but I'd love to try it. Maybe we can talk and we can set something up. We can spend a couple of hours trying each other's stuff and see what we could come up with. You never know. Hey Cohen, I will check my mailbox. Thank you, buddy. I know that you're working on some great guitar builds. I'm always excited to see that. I'm gonna get banned, says, and I do love the Marshall thing. I play blues and classic rock, so not super gain. Well, I mean, the Brunetti can get you any type of gain. You can get from very low gain to like a lot of gain, depending on you, because they have a hot rod channel in there as well. So you can get like classic gain all the way to the super hot rodded Marshall thing. So it covers all bases. John says, Vivi l'Italia. Tony, that 335 build you messed up. Did you end up getting another kit, remove the neck, or get an... Okay, so what ended up happening, I ended up getting another kit. So I took that kit. I actually contacted the seller that sent me the kit. He actually wanted the kit. I showed him pictures of it, and he's like, looks great, send it to me. I'll send you another one. So I did. So I got another one. I had to start over. But at least I got the neck angle right this time. But I sprayed it and it's been curing for a long time. I just haven't had time to actually go and polish it and get all of the hardware in. But it's hanging up, it's drying, and eventually I will get around to finishing that one as well. See, this is what I mean by learning experiences, right? You build your own guitars, you learn. Every mistake you make, you get better. And God knows I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. So, you know, I would consider myself to be a pro right now. The guitar fetish bodies are not very expensive, but you have to be careful with them as well. They're not always great in terms of quality control. I've seen some builds that look really nice with those bodies. I don't know what kind of woods are being used. But yeah, for an inexpensive build, for somebody that doesn't want to spend too much money, that's another option as well. Has anyone tried Red 7 amplification? If so, thoughts? No, I don't know that brand. Red 7. Interesting. Where did it originate from, William? What is the Celestion 65? The Creamback G12M65. They're just G1265s. The ones I have I don't think they, do they say M? I think there's either M or H. 65. You can get those. You can get them, the newer versions, but they're not made in England. And I've heard that they don't sound the same. So if you can get the older ones, those are the ones that you want to get. difference with the original Classic 57s from your point of view? Well, the 57s I have, the 57 Classics are the ones I have. They have the 57 Classic Plus, which a few more wines. I like the Classics. I don't know what, there's probably not much of a difference, but I like the Classics. Yeah, so Paul, I went with the head, right? I went for the head. It's 1,800 for the head. The 3,500 for the 2x12, a little pricey. I prefer to just go with the head. 1,800 bucks, still relatively inexpensive. I mean, look, you can get the Marshall Studio Plexi, which would end up costing you, with taxes and everything, about that anyways, right? Don't forget, these amplifiers are made in Italy, super well made. They're not made in China. They're not made, you're buying quality. I can vouch for that. Is that a Seiko? This is a no. This is a Citizen. It's not a Seiko. Citizen. Take it easy, Charlie. Larry wants to know if he should change the neck on his 94 Japanese Strat from a 21 fret to a 22 fret neck. Why? Why do you want to do that? First of all, if it's a Japanese guitar, Japanese Strat, don't modify it. Keep the original Japanese parts on it. It's going to be worth more than if you start parting it out for something else. I like the Japanese stuff, and I like the neck. I have a Strat as well, 21 frets. It's fine. I don't usually need the last fret. I hardly ever play that high anyways. So what's the point? I don't think you should. The unwaxed pickups do sound more open, Christian. And you're probably all right about that. If they are unwaxed, you're definitely going to get some different tones out of it. But you might also be getting squeal. So it depends on how much gain you play with overall. Bruce says, I built a Telecaster body. I had to drill into it. Yeah, eventually you're going to have to do that. Beavis says, I hate the Stratosphere. Cushman also is not a fan of the Stratosphere. Russell says the Stratosphere has best rides. You guys you're too much. Seth says Guitar Safari. Mike, I do remember when the American standards were $9.99 USD. Seems like everything's now $1,200 or more, right? The good old days. William says I go to Vegas twice a year. Never rode that Stratosphere. Not for me. Beavis, yeah, I remember the reissued Jaguars, 1,349. It's just crazy because it seems like overnight they just skyrocketed. Now everything's like super expensive. That when I go into the guitar store, I'm like, oh, I get like anxiety looking at these prices. I'm like, what? There's got to be a mistake. Russell says, you guys think you're old? I paid for Winamp twice. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Hey, the Gospel of Mark is back. Hey, man. Mark, tell us about your gear, man. Before you go back to work, just squeeze it in there. You guys are great, man. You just make me laugh. I can see why he only needs a volume knob, because with his configuration, you get away with different instruments from 3, 9 on the volume. Way different, yeah, exactly. Take it easy, Fat Philosopher. Enjoy your sleep. Have some nice dreams of gear. And see you next Sunday. Any thoughts on the Bulgara 1960 Plexi clone? I haven't tried the Bulgara. I know that a lot of people claim that you have to be careful with those amps because they do have a few quality control issues. I mean, overall, the sounds that I've heard didn't sound terrible. I think if you're in the market for something that is not super expensive, then you can always go with that brand. But for me, I tend to look, if you're gonna get a Plexi, something that sounds like a Plexi, start off with Marshall. I mean, at the end of the day, the studio Plexis are great. From what I've heard, they sound phenomenal. I'm just disappointed that, because of the pandemic, you're not going to see them on the used market very much. I came across one locally that was being sold on the used market, but it wasn't really, how can I put this? The guy wasn't really, he knew it was a brand new amplifier that had just come out, so he wasn't really willing to negotiate the price. And I felt, he was basically selling a used amplifier for the same price as a new one. So I didn't grab it. But eventually they're going to pop up on the used market. So just wait. So William says, I want to say Red 7 is Italy as well, but not for sure. They like to use KT88s, which I really like. Best known for their high gain, but they do make other models. I'll have to look into it. Red 7, huh? I'll take a look. I'll do a little research on them. Paul says the classics are killer, better than pickups at twice the price, most underrated pickup ever. I agree, Paul. I like the classics, and you can get them for relatively inexpensive used on even on eBay. Jeff says, I got the Protein Overdrive by Brown Amps. Great tone. Don't know that one. This is what I love about gear. There's always new stuff coming up, and you guys are like throwing another log on the fire and, tempting me with new stuff all the time. I just ordered an HSS pickguard from Stratosphere, and of course the humbucker didn't fit. I don't know if I can blame them for that, though. I mean, a lot of the stuff that you buy is designed for either a covered humbucker or an uncovered humbucker. If you bought the one for an uncovered humbucker, then chances are the covered, if you're trying to put a covered humbucker, it wouldn't fit, or vice versa. A friend of mine is looking at selling a 2006 Highway 1 Telecaster. They are actually selling for more than new. Sleeps if anyone has got one. You know what? The Highway 1 stuff is good because I believe we were not using a thick poly finish on those guitars. So if any of you, for those of you who want to make your own SRV clones and stuff like that, the Highway 1 bodies were perfect for that because you can actually pick away at the paint and make them look used relatively easily. I like the thin skin or the thin paint on those Highway 1s. They're fantastic for that. And I'm not surprised that they're selling for more than they were originally right now because they're sought after guitars. I had one. I had a Highway 1 body that I purchased to make a SRV clone, which I did make, and everything, it was like beautiful, and I didn't have the heart to relic it, so I ended up selling it. But that was a really cool body that I had on that one. Stratosphere have they go through a lot of orders. They're very popular, so I don't know who's filling out the orders with Stratosphere, but at the end of the day, it's just maybe somebody that doesn't really care. There's probably somebody getting paid minimum wage to work there and fill out the orders, and if they mess up, whatever, they don't really care. Are 57 pickups better on a Les Paul or a 335 style guitar? I like them on both. I don't feel that they necessarily sound better or worse on either one. I have them in a 335 right now, but I would be happy to put them in a Les Paul as well. Best cure for sticker shock is a short memory. True. Take it easy, Seth. See you soon, man. Hopefully you can tune in next Sunday. Quicksilver says, I paid for Netscape Navigator, Communicator back in the day. Well, I'm happy to say I never joined AOL. Just saying. Yeah, prices are up, man. Paul, what can you do, right? Everything's getting more expensive. Cost of living, houses are going through the roof here. In my area, everything's going above asking. You put a house on the market today, you can get easily $50,000-$60,000 more than what you're asking. It's crazy. Cost of living through the roof. Hey Ben, how you doing, my friend? Long time no see. We gotta get together again, man. We let it drop. I don't know what happened there. We were supposed to get together. Gotta make it happen. Is it safe to chat? Jamel, why wouldn't it be safe to chat? Jason says, recently bought the PRS 5708 pickups. What do you guys think between the Gibson and the PRS 57s? I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but I think I don't think the 5708s are bad. I think everybody tends to think they sound good. They definitely cost a lot, which is not necessarily representative of whether or not they're good, because you can buy stuff that's very expensive and doesn't sound good at all. But in my opinion, I find that PRS makes really good guitars. Their amps, I don't know. Some of their amps tend to sound good, some of them don't. Is the price right? Obviously, they're very expensive. But I feel that the PRS pickups are not up to par with their guitars. Is that something that I can say? I don't know. Maybe you guys will disagree with me on that. But the American-made PRS that I have, the SC245, I like the guitar a lot. It's one of my favorite guitars. Would I switch the pickups in that guitar? Probably I would, yeah. I haven't found a set to put in that guitar yet, but I'm still considering it. But again, you're probably asking the wrong guy, because I tend to switch pickups and everything. So I'd like to know what you guys think, but it just depends what you're after in terms of sound. Exactly, Paul. A lot of the old 335s have 57s. Hey, Vox, I remember not having the internet. So I'm old too, I remember spending my time on BBSs. Do you guys remember those bulletin boards before the internet? I was on those. Anytime, Bed. We're going to have to do it soon, man. We're way overdue. Yeah, you're not going to be able to buy houses in Toronto for sure. It's crazy. Crazy. I'm glad I bought my house before, but I'm really worried about what my kids are going to do. How are my kids going to afford a house? It's crazy. Something's got to happen. I actually got the PRS pickups on sale at Sweetwater for $170 each. Still crazy expensive. Everything PRS is expensive. You know, I wanted to swap my knobs on my PRS. So I looked. The knobs are $56 US, not including taxes, not including shipping. $56 for knobs, which probably cost them, I'm going to say 75 cents. Probably not even that. So that's, you know, one of the things that you kind of have to juggle. Yeah, Dan, you're right. A lot of the pickups that I've tried from PRS guitars have kind of that nasally mid-range thing happening. It's true. I don't think they've gone to stainless steel frets. I don't think so. Unless they've done so on the Silver Sky, I don't know. Do I own a PRS Custom 24 SE or a Core? There's 3 PRSs that I have currently. 2 of them are SEs. So I have the Zach Myers semi-hollow body SE. I just bought the 245 SE. And I have an American-made SC 245. That's what I have so far. I did have a Tremonti at one point, which I sold. Didn't sound good. I think it was more the way it was made. I like the real Tremontis. I'd love to get one of those, but they're super expensive. Quicksilver, I used to have, for the dial-up BBS, I used to have the first modems where you had to, actually, I didn't have the ones where you had to put your phone on the modem, but they were still selling those when I started. And I think the first modem I got was a 2400 baud, extremely slow. And then we went up to 15, I think it was 15,000 baud or something like that, US Robotics. And I spent so much money on computer gear. It's incredible. Today, William, you don't even have an opportunity to place a bid on houses here. If you have a house for sale, you're looking at possibly 40 bids on the same house. And unless you have financing, approved financing from the bank, chances are you're not even going to be accepted to bid on the house. And if you are, a lot of times if if there's clauses, like for example, you want to have the house inspected, they're not even going to waste their time on you. They're going to go to the next person. There's people willing to buy the house above asking with no inspection, no warranty, like that. And not only one. I know some people that have actually bid on houses, willing to pay extra. They weren't even considered. So the prices are going crazy here. And compared to other places like Toronto, we're still reasonably priced. So I don't know, it's just going nuts. Paul, exactly right. Unless you're willing to, move somewhere else, yeah, you're going to sell your house for more than it's worth, but you're still going to have to buy something. Unless you're willing to move in the boondocks. William, what's going on? Now UPS is trying to charge me $82 to get my package back. What happened? I missed that one. Yeah, that's my wife keeps telling me that eventually when we retire, that she wants to move into a condo, and I'm like, I'm not moving into a condo. How am I supposed to play my Dirty Shirley in a condo? Come on, guys. I don't know. It's like as if she doesn't know. Like, look at me. Do I look like a condo guy? Anyways, so I told her, I said, well, write me from time to time. Renting is the same situation. If you want to rent, yeah, there's no shame in renting. But if you want to play guitar, you're going to have to go modular for sure with headphones or something. Otherwise, there's no way. Tell me about it. UPS are crooks. Anybody that's ordered anything from overseas and has had UPS take care of the brokerage knows that they're crooks. Can't be loud in a condo. No, you can't. So either you get an Axe FX with some really good headphones or another modeling amplifier with some good headphones, or a very, very, very well insulated condo, which usually they're not. It's going to be extremely difficult to play music in a condo. When I built, we had this house built, and this particular room is soundproofed. But the thing is, the odd thing is that it's soundproofed so that people can't hear me playing as loud in this room, but I hear everything out there. Yeah, William, I get you, man. I get you. All right, guys, listen, I've been blabbing here for 2 hours and a half. It's been, I was originally only intending to talk for like an hour. So I went over an hour, an hour and a half, which I don't, I love. I mean, you guys, I'm giving everybody out there a big thumbs up because you guys have stuck with me for now 2 hours and a half now. But I guess that's it. It's 12:30. I'm getting hungry. I'm sure everyone else here at home is probably getting hungry. So I'm going to make some lunch. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in this Sunday. Don't forget, guys. Don't forget, for those of you who have come in late, because you guys are awesome and you're always here and you support my channel, I want to give you the heads up. Going to be giving away this NUX MP2 Mighty plug this week on my channel. So you have an opportunity to win a cool little unit. And for those of you that are in an apartment somewhere where you can't play loud, or in a condo, this would be perfect for that, because it allows you to plug into your guitar, get some cool sounds, and play without making noise. So stay tuned for that, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of the week. Don't forget, we'll be back here again next Sunday. Same time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same place. Come prepared to talk about gear, because that's what we're going to be doing here. And make sure you stay safe and keep rocking. And check out my videos that we're going to be posting this week, because there's going to be new stuff being posted on my channel as usual. All right, guys. Have a good one. Peace out. Talk to you soon.